up, tank nerds? Lottie here again. Okay, we're back on the 105, obviously. We are onto the second hub or wheel unit. We finished the first one, as you saw in the last video, so that's all good. We're happy. Now I'm doing this one. Now that I know exactly how all this goes together, it should be infinitely easier to take it apart. I'm going to do it in a slightly different order. Just what I think is going to work out better. I'm going to also try and film as much of it as I can. So the first step is actually cutting this weld here. That'll allow us to take the pin out. I'm then going to remove this. That way we can just take the whole wheel off rather easily. You cannot remove the wheel with this still attached. So as much as I want to do that right now, just to give myself a bit more space, cannot. So yeah, we're going to cut that. Probably going to have to pin punch it out. And then I'm going to take this off. Take the wheel off and we'll go from there. My cursory plan is to actually separate the hub from the stub axle before removing the whole lot. I am at one point I'm gonna have to grind off the welds at the back to redo the whole axle interface, but for now I would like to remove the hub with all the bearings. And seeing as it's all welded up in the first place, it might be easier to just do it while it's still fixed on there, which I don't know, we'll see. But first things first, we need to actually get rid of all that. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, there we have it. So that's now off. Hopefully, let's cool it down a little bit, but oh, look at that. It's actually coming out relatively easy. Do it by hand, but it's still a bit hot. Do this bit. And come on, we're so close. There we go. Well, that certainly came out a lot easier than the last one. And yeah, we've only sort of got a couple of little nicks on it. So okay, now that we've got that out, I may as well do this while we've got it. No, actually, I'm just gonna take the wheel off. I think it just gives me a little bit more room when I need to pin punch all this around. Alright, that's what we're doing next. We're gonna take the wheel off. I hope you like me footage. I just watched it back. This is why I don't film while I'm working, because you get shots like that. So if you like me's, that video was for you. Now my hair's all fluffy. Wheels off. So there it is. It was a little bit sort of stuck on there. I had to hit it rather hard with a big hammer from behind, but that's all good. So next step, yeah, I'm just gonna get some WD-40 and lubricate all this. And then yeah, grab my pin punch over there and remove it. I'm glad this spins freely. Yeah, so yeah, I'll remove that, and at the same time I'm not sure about that actually. Thinking. Yeah, I'll take this off. Take those off. And we'll see if we can get any progress just by sliding the whole hub out. If not, no, that should work. Yeah, that should work. If I take that off, the whole unit should come off its axle on the back there. Yes, I do believe so. We'll try that. Feeling good about the mix. Oh, my knee wasn't in the way. Actually pretty good. Okay, yeah, I'll move out of the light. So just trying to think what the next best course of action is. I might try being the operative word. I'll take these out and I'll try and just remove the drum. We'll see how productive that is. If not, that entire unit, because remembering that pin that went through here holds the stub axle onto the hub there. So all things being good, that should just come up. Naturally, it's never going to be that easy. I'll probably have to hit it, but I would like to see if I can get this drum off. It's worth a shot. So I've got my hammer impact screwdriver there. So I'll try and just loosen them off and take them off. The other side was pretty easy. I'm hoping this side is just as easy. So let's do that. Let's just do it right now. Having a quick little break because I got my special, I think people were asking what this was. It's sweaty. People were asking what this was in one of my other videos. It's just WD-40 lubrication, but it's like more concentrated or whatever. So yeah, basically just spraying this into the hub. Now that I made a little bit of a gap, I'll show you now. So you can already see it right here. So it's starting to come out, which is really good, but we just want to lube it all up. Okay. I did. Have a break, guys. Okay, I've been just tapping away at this from here around the back and just a couple of taps here, and what I'm really liking is that we have 2 gaps forming, which is 2 more than I thought we'd get, which is really good. So this gap here and this gap here is expanding with every tap, which I'm really happy about. I've also managed to start to get this to spin a little, which is really nice. So what we've got is a clear separation from the first axle, the second axle, and the hub, which is really good. Honestly, I'm probably more concerned about this one, because this is obviously going to be the hardest one to get out later, because this has all the bearings in it, and the bearings fit onto this hub here, onto this axle here, sorry. So as that comes out, yes, just trying to think, yeah, as that all comes out, we'll basically just have loose bearings in there, which will be a lot better. So happy about that. And this one's coming as well. That one's probably a little bit easier to get off because, well, there's not as much that can bend and snap and all that. So I'm being delicate with this one, but I have been sort of just, you know, hitting it here and then rotating it and just tapping it and making sure that it's, you know, coming off relatively square. But yeah, so far, so good. Okay, it's coming out, so I'm going to try and film it as best I can without getting my knee in the way too. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. Oh, disgusting. This bit here is the main axle, and then this is just the one that goes over the top. But yeah, look at that. Ah, look at that. It's just turn the light on. Hope you're not eating, 'cause that's disgusting. Don't like that at all. Yeah. So far, so good. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually really happy with the way things are going on this one. Way easier than the last one. It also helps that I actually know how all of this comes together. Yeah, so more beating this into submission, and that should all just come off. And then we can get to cleaning, and I am going to worry about that axle, this one, later, because it's not important right now, and I don't want to crawl under there at the present time and start grinding away. So we'll just deal with the important bits. That specifically. Okie dokie, we are still here, but just got enough so I can start pulling it off. Yay, look at that. So happy about that. Oh, it's hard with one hand. Let me set this up so I can do it with two. There we go. More good stuff. Alright, we zoom out. Okay. What I might do, we're still waiting on the owner to come by and have a look-see. Depending on what they say, we might actually just leave that in, because again, I highly doubt they'll actually need to remove the whole axle at any point. The only reason you would do so is to put that up here, giving you a slightly different profile. We'll ask them. Until then, I'm basically just going to clean that up in situ. If I can avoid grinding off the welds, I would like to. Certainly save time and money. But everything else, yeah, we're basically just going to have to take over to the bench and start working on it. But yeah, that's actually not bad for a bit of morning work. I actually made quite a bit of progress in a relatively short amount of time. So yeah. And this one still has its little threaded rod on it. Ooh. If I can keep it on there, that'd be great. Well, I am going to have to unscrew it because I've obviously got to replace this spring. So one of two things will happen. One, the thread will come out on one end. I only need one end to come out. The other one can stay. I'll try and get this end up. So I'll free it all up. And if I can, knock that up, I think. And I'll just try and unscrew it from here, clean up that thread, whatever. If I can do that, that'd be super great. Either that's going to happen, or more likely, but I really don't want it to, so knock on wood, it's going to be good. That's going to just break on the inside or out here, so that's why I want to try and do it up here. So I'm going to have to drill that out, drill that one out, lift that up so it's past here, and just try and twist it off. Fingers crossed that that'll work. Everything else looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll move it all over to the bench. I think it's about lunchtime, so I'm gonna go get some food. So I just hammered out the bearings. I would have filmed it, but like I suspected, there was a dreadful amount of swearing involved. You can see the splatter, the gunshot, more or less, from when I hit it down. Spunk. And okay, lots happened. It's the next morning. Let's cover the good news. Yes, good news. I was able to pry that loose. All of that needs replacing, all of these pins. That one actually just broke off as I was trying to free it. So yeah, quite a bit rusted. I punched the rest of it through. Gonna leave that, that's alright. That's alright. So yeah, we'll see if we can free that. Although I suspect it's just gonna break and then I'm gonna have to retap it and basically do what I did last time. So yeah, that's the good news. Now the bad news, the eagle-eyed viewers will notice there's a fair bit of water around. That is because we had an absolute torrential downpour, something like 100 and something mil. Still haven't heard the radio this morning. But yeah, everyone's saying that it was, yeah, absolutely bucketing down. And this entire, the entire workshop got flooded. Not super bad, maybe like that much. I'm just thinking. Oh, you can see it on these tires. Naturally it climbs just a little bit, but about there, I'd say is where the watermark got to. Yeah, so that was unfortunate. I honestly didn't think, never had this level of flooding. Certainly not in one night, so something we're gonna have to look at. We had the office on the other side, that's all flooded. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, really. So yeah, oops, bright light behind me. Yeah, so I don't know, we're just gonna keep on working, but yeah, we're gonna have to think carefully because they said that something similar might happen on Friday. So we'll see what happens. But alright, let's get back into it. Also, I'm just like really tired because I got woken up 2:30 in the morning to go look after the dog because of all thunder and stuff. So yeah, low energy today. I will try and perp up in a little bit. So yeah, okay, let's get back into it. Okay, just had some lunch, but I might just cover what we've been up to, what I've been up to. So I did this already on the other one, but yeah, I've just loosened this up so it's nice and easy, which is really good. I also had to weld that together on the inside, put a spring, put a couple of washers on it, get some bolts as well. And yeah, so once I finish having the rest of my lunch, I will reassemble all that, and then we can get to the brakes. There they are. And the bearings. Okie dokie. Oh god. It's been a long day. I haven't filmed nearly as much as I wanted to, but I got a lot of work done. It just felt like one of those wastes of the days if I didn't get it done. So yeah, let's quickly run through. Besides, I've done this again. I've done this before, so blah, whatever. Yes, let me get my thoughts together. Okay, so leaving the axle in, I can always remove that in the future if need be. I've just given it a quick linish. Now over here, I've basically done all the same again, so I've rebuilt it. Made my springy, It all works. It's lovely. It's groovy. We got the bearings in there, the new bearings in there, which is really good. And it spins, which is kind of the whole point of this exercise. Yeah, so that's all groovy. I just need to make some springs for the brakes, or rather cut the springs. So got them in there, cut springs for the brakes, which is going to be labor intensive, but then that is all I need to do and we should be good. Dokily, future Lottie here. It's the end of the day. It's also a completely different day to where the video just left off. So what happened? Basically, we're nearing the half-hour mark and there is still so much to show. But the hubs I didn't film too much more on. So I'm just gonna fill in the blanks right now and show you where we're at. In the next video we'll cover painting, fixing the legs, bunch of other stuff that we're doing. Yeah, I'll cover that in the next video. But yeah, spoiler alert, we've started painting it. As you can see, quite a lot has been done to it. We've got functioning legs now. It's significantly cleaner. I believe it was just a grubby rust bucket last time you saw it. Anyway, that is not what this video is about. This video is about the hubs. So one thing that I forgot to film, and that was just because, if I'm being honest, I was very cranky that day because a lot had happened. The hubs. Someone did ask in one of my previous videos why I don't grease the hubs, and that is because these are sealed bearings. So it's two bearings, one in there, one in there. So they're sealed. Normally they're unsealed, in which case you use this grease nipple here to fill this entire section with grease, and that gets pushed out through the bearings, lubricating them. Doesn't need to happen here. They're sealed. If I put grease in here, it would do nothing. So no greasing, yay, I like it. But everything else has been greased. So the axle that runs behind it, i.e. this one here, that's all greased, and I can show you just by taking this pin out. And pop that down. So without the pin in there, it should just pop, 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 and it pops out. So that's all grease to stop it from. Now I'm gonna kick it back in. There we go. So that stops it from rusting in the future. Remembering that it's only that pin through here that stops it coming off the axle, which I don't know, it's the way the Italians do it. Also, someone said I need to speak more with my hands because it is Italian. I will try and do that if I remember, but not this video. Anyway, yeah, a lot's happened, but yeah, it's completely done now. Mechanically speaking. So the brakes work. The brakes are not on it currently because I'm painting, obviously. So the brakes are actually sitting over there. You'll also notice they're the original color. That's because you're not going to really see them, so it's not worth painting. And they weren't really rusty anyway. Everything else was. But they're looking really, really nice. I'm quite chuffed with the way everything's been going. So the next step, which will be tomorrow, future Lottie time, paint it all green. Again, just to rehash so everyone knows, so they don't have too many questions. Basically, I really wanted to get the hubs done completely so we can tow it wherever we need to while it's being restored, without too much issue. And honestly, once all that, this section here is all green and the wheels are on, I'm happy. We can then, because we're still waiting on the owner to come and have a look at everything and tell us exactly what he wants operational and not. We're going to try and get these trails working, but as you can see, there's a lot involved and there's a lot of cutting that we still have to do. But we've basically smothered out most of the rust. I sandblasted and wire wheeled it, same with the wheels. again, I'll talk more on that in the next video. But again, we're nearing the half-hour mark. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's the end of the day. Yeah. So, that's it from me. I hope you all have a lovely day. Ask loads of questions. And yes, as you can see, a lot's been happening. So don't worry. Just because I don't film it doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen. Sometimes, more often than not actually, especially when it gets this hot, you just have an off day. And really filming on an off day just does not help in the slightest. So yeah, that's the hubs done. They do assemble. I've already assembled them and disassembled them just to make sure it all works. You'll see that in the next video. But yeah, there you have it. The entire hub assembly is now working. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye!